Thanks for joining us. I'm Megan Roberts. We begin tonight in Nunavut. Data shows a staggering increase in injuries from suicide attempts and suicidal ideation among young Nunavummiut last year. The appointment of Janet Pitsulak-Brewster as Nunavut's new suicide prevention minister comes at a pivotal time. Samuel Watts spoke with her about the change she's pushing for.
A warning, this next story discusses suicide. Janet Pitsulak-Brewster has spent 2 decades working in healthcare in Nunavut. Throughout her career, she has pushed for more action on suicide prevention. Now as the minister, she's got new powers to try to change.
My focus now is to learn exactly what steps we're taking to engage youth so that they don't come to the point of attempting suicide.
Suicide rates across Inuit Nunangat are estimated to be 5 to 25 times higher than the rest of Canada. The Nunavut Representative for Children and Youth's 2024 report reveals some troubling figures. There were 80 critical injuries reported by family services because of suicide attempts and suicidal ideation. That's a 433% increase on 2019 and 2023 figures, though the report notes past data may be inaccurate and could be higher. Representative Jane Bates says there are many risk factors to suicide, but there isn't much research linking them all together.
I don't think that kind of detailed study of these young people's lives leading up to those suicide leaded.
As the executive director of Akfiat's Akumavik Wellness Society, Cookie Baker has helped many Nunavummiut through their struggles. Her biggest observation, young Nunavummiut don't always understand the trauma their parents and grandparents lived through.
People don't understand what happened in the past, then how can you heal and move forward?
Elders are a source of strength and wisdom, and Baker wants the younger generation to be able to lean on that.
Just having them being together in the same room builds that relationship and those connections start forming.
Jane Bates also believes there needs to be more opportunities for youth to have their say.
We need to find those places where young people can speak up and let us know what's happening for them.
And the minister agrees. She says she wants to push forward the creation of a youth council. That's one of several commitments in Nunavut's 5-year suicide prevention strategy.
I'll focus on getting that going so that youth can be heard sort of on the macro level and not just as individuals.
And for Nunavummiut to feel heard and seen. Samuel Watt, CBC News, Yellowknife.
If you or someone you know is struggling, there's help. You can call the Kamatsiaktut Nunavut helpline at 1-867-979-3333 or toll free at 1-800-265-3333. You can also call the Suicide Crisis Helpline by dialing 988. Both of those lines are available 24/7. Staying in Nunavut, the state of emergency in Kugaruk has ended. The hamlet passed a motion lifting the state of emergency during a meeting on Thursday. It was first put into place on Sunday after seawater entered the water treatment plant. Everything's not back to normal just yet, though. Tap water still isn't safe to drink. Despite that, Kugaruk's SAO says the emergency was lifted because the situation has stabilized and there's an adequate supply of bottled water. It's being distributed at the fire hall until the Do Not Consume advisory is lifted. Schools and more offices like the Kitumut Inuit Association also reopened today. Some Tahltan First Nations members in northern British Columbia are sounding the alarm over payments promised to voters ahead of a referendum this weekend on the Eskay Creek mine. The gold mine is in northwest BC near the Alaska border in Tahltan territory. As Katrin Pilkington reports, some people see the payments as an attempt to influence the vote.
This is the Eskay Creek mine. Starting tomorrow, Tahltans are voting on a benefit agreement that sets out royalties and compensation for mining impacts. Ahead of the vote, the Tahltan central government says they negotiated an upfront payment with the mining company that would see members receive $10,000 if the agreement is approved. But not everyone is happy about that.
Do we actually really want to just be sold out by mines?
Someone like me, yeah, it's not an inducement, but I think to people who are struggling, right? It could be.
In a statement, First Nations officials say the payments would allow Tahltan to directly benefit from the Eskay Creek project. They say there will be other benefits for the community if the project goes ahead, like an ambulance in Telegraph Creek and an elders complex. Still, some members say it's hard to make a decision without knowing the full environmental impacts. A BC environmental assessment was delayed and isn't expected until January. An engineer who has reviewed the designs has also expressed concerns about the waste rock pile, saying he's not sure how it would do in the event of an earthquake.
I really think they probably should have more information before they take a vote like this. And some of these issues need to be more thoroughly investigated.
Both TCG and Skeena Resources say the project design factored in the potential for earthquakes in accordance with BC code. Skeena Resources did not return a request for line. Katrin Pilkington, CBC News, Whitehorse.
Members of the Yukon Legislative Assembly have wrapped up their first week of the fall sitting. The Yukon Party took the floor as the new government and introduced a supplementary budget. Virginie Ann is here now to give us a recap of everything that happened. So Virginie, this marks the first sitting of the new government. Did we get a better sense this week of where the Yukon Party is heading?
Yes, but so far no major surprise. The Yukon Party has been following its electoral promises very closely all week. Pretty much everything that was discussed during question period, included in the speech from the throne or in the supplementary budget that the government introduced on Tuesday, everything had already been outlined in the party's platform.
Okay, let's talk about that budget then. What's in it?
So Premier Kerry Dixon was very quick to say this is not his budget, but one he inherited from the previous government. The budget surplus has dropped from $82 million in the spring to $12.7 million. The government says that the largest cost drivers since the spring have been on wildfire response, highway and public works, and on health and social services. And one thing, Megan, that stands out in this budget is that the government seeks to offset the 10% electricity rate increase that's coming in January. It proposes $1.6 million for a new rebate program. The official opposition doesn't think that's enough at all. The government also seeks to increase its borrowing capacity to address aging energy infrastructure. It also wants to invest more money toward the Yukon Hospital Corporation and to the city of Whitehorse for infrastructure projects, among other things. So the government seems to be heading where it says it would, but not without first taking some jabs at the previous government, Megan. Like pretty much any new government, the speech from the throne took some shots at the Liberals. It referred to wrong-headed policy and bad decisions, and from there the government jumped at the opportunity to outline how it would do things differently.
Yeah, most governments can't resist that parting shot, Virginie. That being said, what did the government say about what it'll do differently, how it's going to be changing direction?
So the government told the Assembly it will pause or slash completely some programs and initiatives, such as choosing a different location for the aging École Whitehorse Elementary School, also phasing out the residential rent cap and reassessing the health authority as well. And these last two are quite controversial, Megan. First, the health authority has been planned for years, but the government said this week it will take another look to determine if there's a better way to fix the healthcare system. And then there's the rent cap. That's an initiative the previous government introduced in 2021, and it basically limits residential rent increases to the rate of inflation. The opposition really pushed the government during question period this week, basically disagreeing on how to make housing affordable. And this was a good example of the type of debate we heard this week. So expect both the government and the opposition to talk a lot about affordability.
Right. And, you know, Virginie, the cold weather is another thing that people have been talking about a lot this week. It's very cold right now. Of course, the weather is not the government's fault, but it all still came up in question period. Tell us why.
Well, for several reasons, but one that stood out is because of bad communication over school bus cancellations or delays that happened this week in Whitehorse. Opposition leader Kate White brought that up twice during question period. And I mean, it's easy to understand why, Megan, how stressful it would be to send a kid outside at -40 to wait for the bus. White said several caregivers reached out saying their kids waited forever for the bus, which either never came or was delayed. And the problem, she said, lies with the education department. Notifications either come late or not at all. And then the government's response to rectify that, well, that was a bit chaotic. Lots of back and forth. Caregivers received misinformation. The education minister, Scott Kent, apologized several times during the assembly.
All right, what can we expect for next week then, Virginie?
Right, so the cold weather is expected to continue, so definitely we can expect to hear more about how that's impacting Yukoners, and also MLAs are expected to vote on the budget, so we'll keep an eye on that. And the sitting will be wrapping up next Thursday, Megan.
Okay, thank you, Virginie. That's CBC Yukon reporter Virginie Yan. She covered the Legislative Assembly for us this week. In the Northwest Territories, the government is rethinking how it delivers health care for transgender youth. It comes after the Territory's main health care partner of Alberta controversial law this week to restrict gender-affirming care. Alberta gender clinics are the default referral option for transgender kids in the NWT who need to see a specialist. The new bill clears the way for restrictions on some drugs used in gender-affirming care. Alberta doctors could soon be banned from prescribing puberty blockers or hormone therapy for kids under 16. The Northwest Territories health minister says the territory will continue to have no restrictions on gender-affirming care, and staff are working to establish referral options outside of Alberta.
We've had preliminary conversations with BC, and we've had, there's other provinces that we have had services provided through already.
Semler says families affected by the new law in Alberta should reach out to their family doctor for next steps. Bell is one of the only providers for cell service in Iqaluit, and some customers say they're having trouble making and hearing calls. Bianca McEwen has more.
Natalie Isabel Richard is having trouble logging onto her Bell mobility app, and that's not her only problem with Bell.
When you call people, it's like some word drop. We cannot hear, by us we can hear people talk, but people cannot hear us. They will hear like a fragment of word.
Along with the person on the line not being able to hear her, Richard says phone calls disconnect often. She pays $110 a month for the service. She first noticed these issues back in October and has complained multiple times to Bell.
They give me a ticket and they said they need a technician specialist to call me back. So the technician left me a message because he was not able to talk to me. So he tried to talk to me, but he said, I will call you back because I don't understand what you say. So he left.
In a voicemail, Richard says Bell told her the only temporary fix was to install Wi-Fi calling at home. In an email statement, Morgan Shipley, the senior manager of communications at Bell, says they are aware of the voice call quality issues affecting Nunavut customers. Shipley says Bell is investigating the issue and will give an update once more information becomes available. Laura Deal has also complained to Bell about this issue. In a message to CBC, Deal says on a recent call, Bell told her this issue would not be fixed until cell towers in Iqaluit are upgraded. Bell did not confirm the cause when CBC asked if old cell towers are behind the issue. In the meantime, Richard has submitted a complaint to the Commission for Complaints for Telecom Television. She's also asked for her money back from Bell. But Richard says it's not about the money. It's about the lack of service.
They have an obligation to serve people. They have an obligation to repair. This is an obligation. They have like a service they have to give. And I don't know why they don't give us this service.
Richard says she wants this to be fixed so she can go back to calling people and not have to rely on voicemail. Bianca McEwen, CBC News, Iqaluit.
Ready, Rudolph?
Ready, Santa.
Enjoy this festive season.
Coming? Where? Why, to the North Pole, of course.
Enjoy the magic,
Happy birthday!
hilarity,
I triple dog dare you.
We're all in for a very big treat.
enjoy the excitement
Tremendous, gargantuan, spectacular!
and wonder.
From the moment I met you, it's been an adventure.
Enjoy the holidays. Watch free on CBC Gem.
If there's one thing I know about Canadians, it's that we're kind. We want to help.
It doesn't take a big star.
Or millions of dollars.
All it takes is one can.
$1.
Or even 1 hour of your time.
In every corner of this country, people give.
To their friends, to their families, to total strangers.
And this season, we will give again.
Starting December 5th, help us make the season kind.
Find ways to give to food banks in your community at cbc.ca/kind.
Where does bravery live? It lives inside Cynthia Appia, who refuses to let the high cost of sports slow her down.
Welcome to the assembly.
Hell yeah, let's go.
What made interviewed by 40 neurodivergent interviewers?
Whoa. This is the most authentic conversation.
Oh, you make me cry.
As you heard earlier in the show from Virginie, the Yukon has been in a deep freeze this week. And especially if you're in the middle of it, you may be wondering why. The CBC's Darius Madavi tells us where the cold is coming from and what Yukoners can expect in the next few weeks.
While folks in Canada's far north are no stranger to cold temperatures, these are really something else, especially this early in the season. Just take a look at this, minus 53 in Braeburn, Yukon. That is a very unusual temperature to be hitting in December. In fact, the last time that happened this early was back 30 years ago, 1995, December 5th. Ross River, Yukon hit the minus 53 mark. It's been a very long time since we've seen something like this and all these very cold temperatures across the region. So what is causing it? It comes back to the polar vortex, which is something you may have seen in headlines. You may hear people say something like the polar vortex is coming, which isn't really what's happening. The polar vortex is way up in the atmosphere. So we're talking stratosphere, tens of kilometers above the surface. It doesn't really have a direct impact on our weather down here at the surface. But what does have a direct impact is the polar jet stream. Now, the polar vortex usually helps keep spinning, helps keeping that cold air contained, but every once in a while it can become disrupted. When that happens, it can have a knock-on effect on the polar jet stream, which allows that cold air to spill further and further south, allowing some very, very cold air to break into all parts of Canada, especially up in the far north. And that is exactly what we're seeing right now. The polar vortex, which we're looking at here, has been disrupted. Normally this would just be one big cohesive blob of black up at the top there, but you've seen it split into lobes. You can see how it's just moving around, and that disruption has disrupted the polar jet stream as well, and that has driven these really cold temperatures that we're seeing. Here's what the polar jet stream looks like right now, allowing that dip south, allowing that cold Arctic air to escape. And it seems the polar vortex is going to be disrupted for quite a while yet, which will continue to allow that cold Arctic air to spill south. So expect the next couple weeks to potentially see a number more cold snaps in the time ahead. Darius Madavi, CBC News, Vancouver.
A new study places an offshore nursery for a colony of birds in the path of Arctic shipping routes, and the consequences could be detrimental as shipping traffic grows. There are only about 1,300 Cape Perry thick-billed murres living in Canada's Western Arctic. It's one of the most isolated colonies of the species in the world, and researchers are concerned that the population could dwindle. As the Arctic warms up, shipping routes will get busier due to longer ice free. Researchers say these routes will likely intersect with areas the birds use to take care of their young and shed their primary feathers. This molting period means the birds are vulnerable to ship strikes, oil spills, and noise pollution.
Molting all of their primaries, their flight feathers, then they might be completely flightless for a bit, in which case they would not easily be able to get out of the way of a fast-moving ship. Or if they were diving in deep underwater and a ship came along, that might be a problem. So really both adults and chicks are at risk.
Researchers are working on pinpointing the exact location of these nurseries and hope to have more answers before next summer. A new photo documentary project is shining a light on the Bathurst caribou herd and the people fighting for the animal's future. Photographer Pat Kane spent the last year traveling with the herd and documenting its decline. Carla Ulrich has that story.
Eskay is a Clicho word for caribou. It's also the name of local photographer and storyteller Pat Kane's newest project.
I mean, this one is kind of like peaceful, but also like a little bit troubling. But I do find it kind of beautiful in a way.
Kane documented researchers, harvesters, and community members from the Clicho region. Those who rely on the caribou are now watching their numbers fall. Kane worked with the Clicho government's Boots on the Ground Caribou Monitoring Program, which started in 2016. The team focuses on researching and documenting the caribou's habitat, as well as environmental, predator, and industrial disturbances.
They're going on the land and they're using a mix of this traditional methodology mixed with Western research techniques and mixing the two. And they're trying to get a comprehensive view of what's happening to all herds of caribou in the region, so the Beverly, the Bathurst, and the Blue News East as well.
The project is now online and features photos and stories from Kane's time on the land with the research group, as well as over 40 audio clips and photos of Clicho members and researchers that Kane interviewed during the process. One of them is Tatso Juniper, whose family is from Delaney. Juniper says growing up, caribou played a significant role in his life, from a steady stream of dry meat and caribou dinners to hide for clothing and crafts. He says the project speaks to a reality many Dene people are feeling right now, that access to caribou isn't guaranteed anymore, and that the decline is forcing deeper conversations about responsibility, culture, and reciprocity.
We live in a transactional society, and that's going to bleed over into the way we exist as people now. My relationship with caribou exists because people before me nurtured and cared for this relationship, and theirs existed because people before them nurtured it. And they made those sacrifices for a future they knew would exist because of them, not one that they would exist in. And I think we're in one of those uncomfortable moments, and we as Dene people are being tested. Can we make the same sacrifices our ancestors did?
Juniper says projects like Eskay help people reconnect that responsibility through shared stories. He hopes hearing these voices will push people to reflect on their own relationship with the caribou, and he's grateful the project is giving space for Dene people to speak their voice. Carla Ulrich, CBC News, Yellowknife.
A Nunavut organization that works to revitalize Inuinnaqtun is getting a funding boost. The language is at risk of dying out. Only a few hundred people declare it as their mother tongue in Canada. The Kitamute Heritage Society is being awarded $100,000 from the Anauma Community Foundation. The foundation helps provide funding for initiatives supporting communities in Nunavut. The Heritage Society created a dictionary app to help teach Inuinnaqtun, and it offers Inuinnaqtun cultural programming.
Understanding that our Inuinnaqtun language is so, at stake, that, this fund will also support many of our language speakers that can deliver programs to our community members.
Angulalik says funding will go to providing professional development for those who teach Inuinnaqtun. Today was our open house here at CBC in Yellowknife. Thank you to everyone who came out, and if you weren't able to, here's some of what you missed. That is Leela Gilday's performance from this morning. The festive mood was in full swing as the Trailbreakers' Shannon Scott hosted bright and early in her fabulous Christmas outfit. As you heard, listeners were treated to live performances from Leela Gilday as well as Carmen Brayer. Visitors enjoyed snacks, hot drinks, and they got a look at what happens behind the scenes. People also dropped off non-perishable food donations in support of Food Rescue Yellowknife. Here are some holiday greetings from the event.
Hi, I just wanted to wish happy holidays to my family up in Inuvik, to Sasha, Jasmine, and my perfect niece, Rain. Can't wait to see you over Christmas to celebrate. Auntie Tash loves you so much.
My name is Lauren. I'd like to say Merry Christmas to all the members of the Yellowknife Choral Society, Aurora Borealis, and Fireweed Children's Chorus. It's our opening night tonight, so Merry Christmas and break a leg.
I just want to say Merry Christmas to my niece and nephew, Finley and Cedar in Los Angeles. I hope you have a Merry Christmas this year.
Merry Christmas to the Ptarmigan. I'm so happy they're back.
And I want to wish happy holidays to all my friends and family, especially those who are in the south and not experiencing true winter and Christmas cold like we are. Lots of love from up north. We miss you.
And that is Northbeat for tonight. For news anytime, go to cbc.ca/north. Tonight, we leave you with more music from our open house. I'm Megan Roberts. Have a great weekend.
Thanks again for tuning in and welcome to the annual open house here at CBC.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. It's a photo documentary project about the Bathurst Caribou herd, the people that are trying to fight for its future.
Hello, my name is Diana Rockwell. Wishing a Merry Christmas and sending hugs to my family and friends, my mom Susan, my dad Chuck, and my sisters Beverly and Olivia. Love you.
What do you want for Christmas this year? You don't know? Yeah, me too.
Hi there, my name's Carmen Braden. I'm a musician here in Yellowknife, and I want to send some holiday greetings to a friend of mine in Fort Simpson, Lynn Canny, and her family. So, yeah, we don't get to see each other very often, and I hope she's listening. Hope she's having a great year with her family, and stay warm, everyone.
Hi, this is Major Tony Brushett with the Salvation Army here in Yellowknife, and I just want to say on behalf of the Salvation Army a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all the folks here in Yellowknife, and to my friends who are watching and listening back home in St. John's, Newfoundland. We miss you all, and we wish you a very Merry Christmas as well.
Merry Christmas from the Cranberry Organic Band. You're watching Northbeat on CBC.